Park. It's the 27th of February 1993 and we have a Division 1 fixture here, Town versus Notts County. Before all this though, Rowley Godfrey.
Yeah, thanks John. Today, every Football League match that has been played today is going to give a 1 minute silence for one of England's greatest ever players, Bobby Moore, who died on Tuesday. Bobby Moore, to me, 30 years ago, I used to go watch West Ham United play, and to me, he was an absolute hero to me. He was the original Roy of the Rovers. To me, Bobby Moore was everything that football should be. He was the only man ever in 3 years on the trot. 1964, Cup Final, 1965, Cup Winners' Cup, and of course that great thing, 1966, when we won the World Cup. The only man to go to Wembley 3 times on the trot and collect 3 different cups. Bobby Moore will always remind me on that great day of July the 30th, 1966. 2 things. He went, before he received the cup from Her Majesty the Queen, he had the dignity to wipe his hands and collect the cup from her. And then when he collected the cup and have it on his shoulders of all his teammates, it was just one great big smile of pride. And the man himself, well, I could go on forever about him, and I better not, because I get too emotional. To me, Bobby Moore, as a footballer, was style and grace. As a man, he had complete dignity. And I hope that we all give him the 1 minute silence that he deserves today, because although Bobby Moore has gone, he will never ever be forgotten. Well, today's visitors are Notts County. Just waiting for the 2 teams now to come together for this 1 minute silence for the memory of Bobby Moore.
Well, Rowley, thanks for those words, and I'm sure that that silence there, which so often nowadays is interrupted by an idiot of some description or another, was absolutely uninterrupted, and I think that goes to show the high esteem of which Bobby Moore was held throughout football in the world.
Well, without a doubt, John, I was so frightened that some idiot was going to do it, but that is his esteem. You know, people like Pelly, Breckenbrough, they all eye him in the highest esteem. But wasn't it wonderful that people today in this crowd would hardly have known, you know, what a great player he was, have known the respect that other people hold him for. Continue with the game, and I hope the 2 teams give him a game he deserves.
Yes, well, we're about to go off, and it's Town kicking off. Jim Dobbins swinging this ball out here to the left wing to little Dave Gilbert, gets in there again. Ball down the line, probably go out. It has done now, off the defender. So let's quickly go through some sides here for you. Town kicking towards a pontoon stand. Ball comes from the bench. Notts County, Steve Cherry, fine goalkeeper, this fella in goal. Chris Short, number 2. Michael Johnson is 3. Dean Thomas is 4. Paul Cox is 5. Charlie Palmer, 6. Gary Lund, ex-Mariner, of course. Young Gary, great player in the early 80s. Clyde Mendonca trying to get that ball through, can't do so. Clip forward. And out now. Gary Lund, as I say, good player for Town in the early and middle 80s. He's now at Notts County. Mark Draper, number 8. Tony Agana, ex-Sheffield United and so-called Danger Man at number 9. Paul Devlin is 10. David Smith, 11. Kevin Bartlett and Andy Williams are the subs. Town side. Well, a couple of changes here for you. Steve Sherwood, of course, retains his place in goal in the absence of Rhys Wilmot. But in comes Gary Croft, young man who got clobbered. As this ball goes back now to Steve Sherwood, hammers it away. Bit close. Gary Croft got injured a few games back. Couldn't regain his place, of course. Paul Agnew playing so well, but he is, and of course illness himself. But John McDermott, who got clobbered in midweek in that fine win down at Oxford where we won 1-0. John McDermott couldn't recover from his injury, so Gary Croft comes in at number 2. Paul Agnew, number 3. Futcher is 4. Graham Roger, 5. Jim Dobbins, 6. Gary Childs is 7. Ball going forward now. Mark Smith can't latch onto it. Yeah, Dave Gilbert holding off the man. Gary Childs, 7. Dave Gilbert is 8. Paul Groves, 9. Clyde Mendonca, 10. And Mark Smith, 11. Tony Rees, of course, who went off injured last week against opposition. Birmingham City, sorry, as Cherry takes this one. They'll get good distance on this, look, because of the wind. Sorry, yes, last week he went off injured against Birmingham. No Tony Rees, so Mark Smith retains his place. But Tony Rees is on the subs bench, as is Kevin Joblin. Jim Dobbin, nicely weighted header down. Paul Groves. The run for Mark Smith. He's going to claim the throw and he'll get it. The referee today is Mr. Wilkie, and Mr. Billingham and Mr. Riley are the linesmen.
Well, we've got it again, you know, again this week, like Birmingham, John. The wind is absolutely horrendous, isn't it? And not only that, it's cold.
Freezing cold, blowing again, not quite as savagely as last week, I don't think, but still enough probably to, well, we hope not to spoil it. But Notts County, wrong end of the division, as I say, 1-2, drawn 5 away from home, but they have scored 16 goals, so they're scoring a goal a game.
And the last 6 matches, I don't think they've lost, John. I was reading, you know, since they changed the manager.
Yes, of course, Warnock no longer is there. Once again, outside the box. Well, he was leaning back, and that's the reason that the ball shot up in the air as badly as it did do. So 3 minutes gone, no score as yet, neither goalkeeper tested. Quite a few fans there behind Steve Sherwood's goal, come up from Notts County. And it's the nearest thing that we're going to get to a local derby, and look at that, the way that the wind held that ball up. Into the middle again, Gary Croft, there's 3 men there going for the same ball. 2 again going for that one. And Town are at 6s and 7s a little bit. Ooh. Now Graham Roger, good ball out. Mark Smith, well held up, and again. But he was under pressure. Short, inside. Well taken here by Draper. Wanted the 1-2. Now Gary Lund to the wing. Oh, good play by Short, right down to the byline. The cross might be too deep, but there's 2 men in there. And I think that's young Gary Croft. Half challenge on the edge of the box. Dave Gilbert is playing left back. They're looking. And here is Dave Gilbert with a clearance, but he still can't get it away.
He should be booked.
Now Chris Short, who was off the pitch, come back onto it. Trying to get past Dave Gilbert, does do, still going to that byline, and again, ball out though this time, and well spotted by referee Mr. Wilkie.
Yeah, I know Short went off the pitch, but he came back on and was immediately brought back into play. Now he's either offside or he isn't, John. But going back to the wind, we're not going to argue on that point, but going back to the wind, I think it's equally as fierce as last week. You've only got to see Steve Sherwood's kicks.
Yes, well, let's have a look at this one. He's even having trouble keeping it on the spot, look. But Town now lying in 7th position. If we should win today, then we will certainly move up 2 positions, I believe. In the absence of Tranmere playing, because they play tomorrow at home to Newcastle United. That should be an interesting one. Now Dean Thomas with the free kick. Now then, long distance, in it comes, nasty one. But Thomas wide of the upright, and I think in fairness to Steve Sherwood knew that was wide. And I think this is a ploy here by Notts County. That's about 3 efforts they've had now that they've tried to slam in there, Rowley. They're going to play with it and they're going to knock shots into Steve Sherwood.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what we should have done last week, John. There's no two ways about it in the first half, and we didn't. And it's the only ploy with this wind.
That's hard luck by Smithy. He was trying to get the ball through. Dave Gilbert did the same. Now Devlin. Smithy made an awful lot of ground, and that's great play. In comes David. Can't make anything of it. The ball goes out, and it's going to be a Notts County throw.
Now I know Mark, and you know my mate. I know he's got his critics, but my word, he made up ground on 2 other people who should have been going for that ball.
Oh yes, you can never fault the bloke's commitment. Cherry out to Johnson. Inside now to Paul Cox. Ball forward, Agana. Got a lot of weight behind the header. Croft. Good one. Childs. Inside. It's always going to be difficult. Lund, Agana, long distance. Great save. Absolute snapshot, and that's a fantastic save by Steve Sherwood.
That was superb, and as you say, John, you can see their thing. As soon as they're within 20, 25 yards of the goal, they're going to have a crack. And with this wind, you can't blame them, mate.
Nope, they're definitely going to have a pop. And Agana, that was top corner stuff. But the thing is, of course, Steve Sherwood, we've said it before, and again, Steve Sherwood, same as all players, has his critics, but in terms of stopping shots, he's as good as they come. Hammered away by Jim Dobbin, but look at the swirl, and we've once again the wind getting hold of it.
See, this is what you know. What's going to disturb us, John, is our 2 midfield players, Groves and Dobbin. I can't say they can't play against winds like this, but it's not their natural game, is it?
No, in comes across from short. Gary Lund on the edge of the box, just tried to touch it off. Here's Dave Gilbert. No, you're going to be kicking into it, so the ball's going to rise, whatever. Here's Mendonca. So it really is deck football as far as we're concerned for this first half.
Oh, without a doubt, John. You know, even defenders clearing the ball are not really clearing it. You know, it's well, it's a golf shot, isn't it?
Well, let's see how it progresses. Dave Gilbert knocks it off. It's Notts County who pinch it. Well in by Groves. Clyde Mendonca, good turn. Shoved his bum in. And that did the job. Now Aggie down the line. Mendonca again, great turn. In well by Groves. Couldn't smuggle the ball away though. Short forward, Agana, lovely touch inside. Graham Roger back to Steve Sherwood. And I don't think we ought to be passing that ball back too much. Offside, Gary Lund coming back. Because knocking the ball back to Steve Sherwood like that, as soon as he hits it, that ball's going to rise. Might be a bit difficult.
Well, you know my feelings about that. I don't know why goalkeepers just don't trap it once, and then if they're in trouble, John, they can always knock it into touch, you know.
Yes, and well, let's see how things go on. Futcher. Now that's got good distance. Falls for Dave Gilbert. He's the man who scored the goal at Oxford. Hammers it wide. Tried to keep it low, of course, and dragged it wide.
Yeah, well, I don't know whether he was at Oxford or not, John. I think Martin was, I believe. But I'm sure he will tell you, as I have seen it on the video that they sent me, Gilbert's goal is something different. Absolute superb.
Yes, indeed, I've been well happy with that, as was everybody with the points. Johnson being closed down by Mark Smith. Smithy again. Now Mark Smith. Oh! Tried to get it to Dave Gilbert and wouldn't get it through. Agana. Good run from midfield, this. Nicely knocked off. Oh, I don't know. I don't know whether it's a booking. I think it is only just a foul, to be quite truthful. Mark Draper, he'd already knocked the ball off and he'd run into Futch.
It was Agnew, actually.
Oh, Agnew, should have said.
To be quite honest, I thought it was blatant obstruction, John. I don't know how Martin feels about it. He might be on the camera with you.
Yeah. Well, I don't know as Agnew was ever going to get out the way of it. But the fact of the matter is, he'd already passed the ball when the foul had been committed. Now, stupid as it might seem, this is almost shooting distance in these conditions.
Agree with, John. Agree with.
But, you know, we've stuck in a two-man wall. David Smith looking at it, but it's chipped forward, edge of the area, knocked in. That's a nasty one, wall. And I think that was Paul Groves in there, just did enough to get that ball hooked away from Agana.
Yeah, I think in this half, you know, I mean, it's been nearly all counties, you can imagine, with this wind, John. I think it's going to be a case of survival. Us on this gantry or them down there.
It's bad enough up here, I can tell you. So, first corner, in it comes. Steve Sherwood, oh, taking a shove in the back there from Agana. So, 10 minutes of the game gone, no scorers yet. So Steve Sherwood, let's see if he can make any more distance with this. Well, kicked it a lot flatter. Whoa, Paul Agnew, that one shot into his face. Up goes Groves. Groves again, says I'll take over. Mark Smith. Mendonca tried to knock it inside to Dobbin, couldn't reach him. Good play. Now short. Long ball, and that's straight through to Steve Sherwood. Steve Sherwood brings the ball out of his area and, well, nearly going down the tunnel, that one. Gary Childs after it. Still in play. And taking a shove there was Mark Smith. Free kick for Town. So Gary Croft, I think he's going to leave it to Futch. Graham Rodger, gone forward, 7 goals to his tally so far this season. Clive Mendonca, though, is the man looking for it, couldn't reach it. Good play by Groves. Agnew forward, Mendonca, short. I think that's going to be a Town throw. Into the corner, Dave Gilbert down to the byline. And now Town's first corner. So 13 minutes of the match gone, Town's first corner. I'm assuming that's Dave Gilbert with it. Look at that, right to the far post. Graham Rodger got it. Childs, now another chance for him. Well in my Gary Childs, but Johnson was equal to it. Now Agana flicks it off. No offside. Gary Childs. Johnson there in front of him. Still Childs trying to get to the line. Forces a corner. Well played. Town's second corner. Dave Gilbert says, calm it down. I'm going to take it. So it might look for the short. I don't know. No, I think Dave Gilbert says I'm going to give this distance. Mark Smith on the goal line. And poised on the far post, Clive Mendonca, Paul Groves and Graham Rodgers in there at near post. In it comes, hit well. Groves was looking for it. Futcher, oh look at that, great control. Nah, he's given that too much. Kept in play. And still in play by the looks of things. And well across by Croft. This will be Dean Thomas with a throw. Oh, good distance. Look at the space here. Now to the far post. Groves only to the edge of the area. Lining it up. Shot comes in and that's in. Sherwood was obviously unsighted. There's no question about that. And that was poor defending by Town. And I reckon that's number 10, Paul Devlin, who got that shot. But Rowley, the man got away in the left wing position. No marking on him at all. The header out, unfortunately, I think it was Paul Groves who had made distance back. All he could do was twist and nod it. But when it got to the edge of the area, there was nobody there apart from Devlin, who says, thank you very much, took it past the one man. And Steve Sherwood, well, he couldn't see it to dive at it.
That Sherwood had no chance. We got caught out at the throw-in badly. We didn't really clear it, and we had 6 men with Sherwood, Sherwood included 7 men behind that ball. And it was a clear shot.
Well, 14 minutes gone, Town go 1-0 down. We just didn't want that. Here's Dave Gilbert trying to make some inroads at the other end. Showed too much of the ball and that'll be cleared. But I'm afraid that was poor defending and Town paid the penalty for that. So Dave Gilbert, Groves, Dave Gilbert again. Agnew wasn't a good ball. Town get the throw. Alan Buckley on the far side of the pitch, waving his arms around. Well done by Smith. He's got it eventually through to Gilbert, but 3 men around him. And that'll be a free kick. So Dave Gilbert himself will take the free kick. Whoa, yes! Oh, a great goal! And is that Paul Groves? I think it is. And that's just the reply we wanted, Rowley. That free kick was driven in. And I know Graham Rodger was in there, but it's obviously Paul Groves who got it, and that was a superb header.
Well, you know, John, funny enough, I was just going to say to you that it's Notts County really do deserve this lead. You know, they've done most of the attack and everything, and I think we can now count that as a bonus to get equal, because let's be honest, Notts County have done most of the attacking, but I'm not complaining. It was a great goal by Groves.
Well, 9 goals for him. Futcher almost got caught out. It's going to go through now to Steve Sherwood. He can pick this up. Well, that's just the reply that we wanted. 16 minutes gone. Paul Groves gets goal number 9 in the league of the season for him. And we've got a bit of a match on our hands, I think. Gary Childs. Oh, running into a bit of trouble. Tried to get Croft in. Croft is there again, just a touch. Gary Childs. Forward, Clyde Mendonca. Back into midfield. It's going to be cleared though. Paul Agnew took the sting out of it well. Dave Gilbert. It was his cross that made it from the free kick. Agnew. Back to Dave Gilbert. Now the run has been made by Smithy. In the middle there, Jim Dobbin has made a good run. Mark Smith, well, it's up in the air. Still there, edge of the area. Groves again. Deflected. Corner kick. Whoa, dear. Well, you could see the line from up here. The referee couldn't see it, there's no question about that. He was reliant on his linesman. But I mean, that was a corner kick from up here.
That's what we're here for, to disagree.
Yeah. So up goes Groves and Dobbin, beaten. Slotted out there to the wing. It's a good ball if it's caught. Smith gets there. David Smith, great cross. 2 men coming in. Rodger was one of them. Oh, we're leaving it to one another again. Great cross again. Oh, crikey. We're in a mess at the back.
You see, the big danger is with this wind, you see, that bigger Garner's in there, and he's pretty useful with his head, and that number 7 Lundy can use it a bit. But let's be honest, I think you know, in this type of conditions, John, rule number 1 is belt it.
Dead right. Because I'm afraid we're at 6s and 7s at the moment. 19 minutes gone. Corner comes in. Steve Sherwood stretched well. Got enough punch on it. Short. Whoops. No way he's going to connect with that one. Out for a Town throw. But let's not forget, of course, that we've got young Gary Croft coming in. He's been playing left back all the season that he's been playing. Now gets brought in and goes into the right back position. So he's going to have to acclimatise to it. Well, in well by Mendonca. Now Futcher. It's a reel up and under. Mendonca is there. Great control. And again, and he went into the tackle well. Paul Cox. Back to Steve Cherry. And Steve Cherry made a valiant dive there at the header, but there was nothing he could do about it. And Paul Groves will be well happy with that one. Gary Childs did well. Wants support. Nobody really available. Steve Sherwood. And ball took a bobble, but Steve Sherwood's got good distance. Mendonca with a great flick on. Smithy took a shove. Now Gary Childs, he wants a call. Jim Dobbin. There's the obvious ball down the line. In actual fact, it turned out even better than that. Smithy, he's done well. Still Mark Smith. Now back to Jim Dobbin. Clips it into the middle. There's a good ball. Groves after it. Johnson away. Well, Town after 20 minutes or so coming to terms with things. So 21 minutes of the game gone, 1-1. The foul given. A good position for us to put this one into the area. Dave Gilbert. He's going to be the obvious choice, left-footed of course. And look at that Notts County back line there. That's absolutely straight if Martin just homes in on it. We don't want to miss this free kick. I think in actual fact, yes, Dave Gilbert is a man with it. But let's have a look. Graham Rodger is in there. Paul Groves, of course, again. And it comes nasty. Not really enough height on that one. Still there. Gary Childs did well. Smith has done even better to get that back to the wing. Dave Gilbert just ran into the defender. He's got away, though. Great play by Dave Gilbert. And a great challenge at the end of it all. Clyde Mendonca pinched it. Gary Croft ball nearly ran away from him. Agana late on the challenge. Well, Cherry didn't really know where it was, and that was a late challenge on Gary Croft by Agana, and Agana knows it.
Sorry?
I think the ball had already swung out in actual fact before Cherry touched it over the top again. But Gary Croft had to stretch for that one, as did Agana, and I'm afraid Agana caught him high and late. Here's a bit of a handful, old Tony Agana. And I would imagine that Gary Croft felt that. But up and running.
Yeah, I do get the impression, though, John, you know, from up here, I don't know about you, but I'd be quite happy to go in level at half-time and let's have the wind in the second half.
Well, we'll take what we can in the meantime, and certainly we took that goal well enough. Here's Mendonca, finds Dave Gilbert. Good run made by Smith. This is Charlie Palmer in front of him, but Smith showed far too much of the ball. Palmer knocks it away. So Dave Gilbert with it. Here is Smithy. Looking to turn, he'll force a corner kick, done well. So Graham Rodger fancies his chances. So 23 minutes of the game gone, Town's third corner. Graham Rodger and Paul Groves waiting to make the run. Here they come. Oh, over his head, Childs! It was on its way. Cherry claims it, no question. Lovely position for Gary Childs, and he'd have loved to have got that one on target. Well, it was on target, but it was blocked well. And that would have tested Cherry if it had got through. Croft tight on his man, but not tight enough. David Smith just getting away. Futcher. Now then, Steve Sherwood should be looking for this one. Dives at the feet. Whoa. Futch taken late. Town throw. So Town free kick, and it looks like Steve Sherwood's going to take it. Asking the referee where. Whoa. And Steve Sherwood has to get back sharpish. Graham Rodger, great header. Knew what he was doing. So Steve Sherwood brings it out of his area. Good kick. Paul Groves seemed to be shoved, yes, and spotted by the referee, albeit a bit late. Mark Draper, the man doing the pushing. Futcher wanted to get that taken quickly. Dave Gilbert in an acre of space on this left-hand side. But I suspect it's going to be through the middle again. The big fellas are there. That's where it goes, flighted to the edge of the box. Graham Rodger. Paul Agnew knocks it forward. Dave Gilbert, lovely touch on Clyde Mendonca. But we're going to have to settle for the throw. Dave Gilbert takes it quick and too far. We'll get another chance. Aggie. Good ball. Clyde Mendonca and a great header inside. Dave Gilbert. Nicely touched off, but Groves will not catch that. And this is short. Made good distance. Look at this. Whoa, short. Still going. Futcher across. Leaning on him a bit. Still short. Well, he's run 70 yards, this fella. Devlin. Nasty one. And the wind held it up, thankfully, but that could have been awkward for Town. Good run by Short, Rowley.
Tremendous run, but you know, he just run out. He'd run out of ideas. Actually, you know, he had nowhere to go.
Here's Mendonca from Smith. Oh, Smithy's made a run. Oh, it's a great run through the middle. Dave Gilbert to tease this man. In comes across far post. Gary Childs. Back in the middle it comes. It's a nice one. Smithy's there. And hammered away by the county defence. Graham Roger wasn't too sure of himself there. Oh, great play by Futcher. Class play. Clyde Mendonca. And again, Groves outside of the foot. That's all he can really do. In again by Mendonca. Great play. Oh. And I think Charlie Palmer ran into Mendonca quite well. I think he knew what he was doing. Town throw. So Aggie with it. Mendonca. Smithy on the run. Going to have to be played. Sherry comes for it. That's ours. So Paul Agnew. Bit of pushing and shoving there. Mark Smith's in love with a fullback, I think. He's got his arms wrapped round him. Agnew. Dave Gilbert. Devlin pinched it. He's having a good game, he's Devlin. Futcher. Whoa, stubbed it. Groves. Wow. Crikey. Dave Smith. Croft has done well. He's sent him wide. And concedes a corner. But Gary Croft did very well there, because first it started with Futcher stubbing his pass, and then Paul Groves just slammed it straight into the path of David Smith.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give Crofty his due, but I thought Smithy's first touch was terrible.
Right, long distance again, but they check this time. Johnson, good cross. But up goes Roger. Now, Childs. That's okay. Jim Dobbin pushes it forward. Oh, I think that's a foul. So 28 minutes gone, 1-1. Paul Groves equalising after Devlin had put Notts County in front. And not a bad little game of football. Very open. Conditions, well, not exactly spoiling it so much today as almost adding to the enjoyment of it. Futcher's free kick. Mendonca, that's a good header, but there's no direction on it. Slammed back at Townsend, and Steve Sherwood will start things off. Takes it out of his area, 10 yards. There's the ball forward now. It's a shame, once again, the wind, no catching hold of it. Smith, good ball. Dave Gilbert, there's the run down the left wing. Clyde Mendonca gets a throw. Charlie Palmer had followed him across. Well, it's not getting any warmer on this gantry. Dave Gilbert with the throw. Mendonca. Oh, great ball. Dave Gilbert. Oh, nobody there to really push it back. Jim Dobbin was waiting on the edge of the area. Roger. Hand out for a throw. Graham Roger didn't like it. Well, as Martin on camera says, Roger and out. He's on his wrong foot, that's what I say. Ooh. Just touched away from Paul Agnew. Well, not a good ball from Aggie at all. Didn't like it himself. So short. Paul Futcher in well. Dave Gilbert, his toe ends it on. Paul Agnew. Dave Gilbert again, under pressure. Agnew, well, through the legs, pushed on. Cherry. Mark Smith doing well. Two others there, we should have had a call. Groves, Agnew, foot high by again and nothing given. And County this time leaving it to one another. Graham Roger. And Town will settle for the throw. Mendonca, good header. Smith, Dave Gilbert. Checks, turns. Gary Childs is wide and right. Comes to Gary Croft. Still Childs available for him. Good ball forward by Croft, finds Smith. Ball back to the wing. Croft made himself available again and then gave the ball away. That was tough, that, because it was good play by Town. Ball still in play, number 11 jumping at somebody there, nothing has been given. Town get the throw. So 32 minutes gone, still 1-1. Yes, and it's getting blacker and blacker out over the Humber. Town throw. Graham has spotted it, and I think we've got something nasty coming in. That is getting mucky. I'm glad I'm under cover, and I think the people out in the corners before the next half starts might be diving for cover themselves. Devlin up in the air. Jim Dobbin says leave it. Good header. Couldn't direct it though. But once again, Town will get the throw. So after that first 10 minutes, quarter of an hour or so, when Notts County were completely in control, Town have certainly worked their way back into this half. Mendonca. Childs in well again. Good play. Jim Dobbin now. Wanted somebody further away from him. Brought in Paul Agnew, and in actual fact, it's good play. Now, Smithy steps on it, still Mark Smith, tightly marked, trying to get to that line, shown too much of it, goal kick. So the wind gets up, it gets colder, and the weather's coming in, Rowley Godfrey, I reckon.
Well, we've all been looking under, bobbing down and looking under the stands there, and over the stands. Believe me, this second half's going to be something. And I'm only talking about the weather.
I was saying earlier, as against Birmingham last week, when the conditions really spoilt it. I don't know whether it's me looking for something that there isn't, but it seems to me, as Short goes out of control, it seems to me that the conditions today are almost adding to the entertainment.
Well, you always was one of them people, weren't you?
I'm talking about in a strange sort of way, of course.
Yes, I am, yes, and... yes, I'm laughing as well, Martin. I'm trying to keep it clean. And... no, John, I mean, the conditions are terrible, and I tell you what, they're not... if anything, if this weather looks like it's going to come, it's going to be one hell of a second half in weather alone, never mind about the game.
It'll be like Cecil B. DeMille's 10 Commandments. I'm nearly blown off this gantry. It's the first time I've ever hung on to Rowley Godfrey.
It's the first time I've let you.
I hope nobody's watching. Go on then, Bennett. Here it comes. This is... and it's hail and it's snow and it's blowing a gale. And I think everybody will be glad to get in at half-time. Whoa, good effort. Good effort by, that's goal, Gary Lund. Gary Lund, left-footed.
On his favourite peg,
yeah. Always a bit of a favourite here at Blundell Park, of course, Gary Lund. And of course, he went out under the Mike Lyons regime, if you can call it such. And it was a shame because he was a homegrown lad, got England under-21 honours alongside Paul Parker, a good friend of his.
Paul Wilkinson.
And Paul Wilkinson, of course, as well. But it wasn't to be here at Blundell Park as far as lines was concerned. Garner tripped, and that might be interesting. And if it was... oh no, in actual fact the referee's saying get on with it, so we'll count the blessings, I think. Here's Short, still going, and that ball came back off him. That's a Town throw.
Yeah, I don't think I'd argue with it, you know, the referee getting on with it, because I reckon that's his second...
it's his second one, yeah. And I think in actual fact, yes, I think the referee's just having a quiet word there with Paul Agnew. And I think he said, I did see it, just keep it clean. Well, he threw it in and it went out. Garner, Graham Rodger, well, he kept it down. Here's Devlin inside. There's a clip back. Great play by Notts County. Lund is in there. I think that's a corner. I don't think the ref was too sure, but he was right on the spot.
Not very much that was a corner.
Well, it's certainly debatable. Martin reckons it was, I did. So, third corner for Notts County. It's taken. Well away. And Paul Agnew running into the teeth of that wind. And Smithy's half crackers as well. He had a grin on his face. I think he's quite enjoying it. That's a great ball by Dave Gilbert. Gary Childs. Croft back to Gary Childs. Some distance out. Croft. Good running by Mendonca into the corner. Wants the support. Here's Croft. Cross. It's a nasty one. Going to have to be played. Dave Gilbert was coming in hard there behind Chris Short. And he nodded the ball away well for another Town corner.
Yeah, it's all right, the goalkeeper looking at Short there and saying, you know, he should have nodded it back. But I think Short did everything right.
Yeah. I wouldn't disagree with that. So Town trying to take the corner. So 37 minutes gone, Town's fourth corner. And it comes nicely hit. Oh, great header! Graham Rodger on the near post. Got exactly the touch on it that he wanted, but it was Cherry who was equal to it, and it was a good stop in actual fact by the keeper at the end of it all. This is Johnson. Well, you can see for yourself in a minute when this ball goes out of play, Martin will be able to focus. There you are. No doubt in one of the corners or somewhere the other, I don't know, because it is absolutely blowing straight across this ground at the moment. Throw taken. Yeah, just like that. Oh, goodness. Futcher. Smith, good header on. Clyde Mendonca, Mark Smith might pick it up yet. Can't do. Gary Childs has, though. That's a great ball by Childs. Smithy on the run. Cherry's there and collects, what, only a yard inside his area. Good goalkeeping. I've had enough of this. Cherry kicks out. Paul Groves met it. Croft. Well, we'll get the throw. My God, and not only is this the coldest it's been on this gantry all season, it's certainly the windiest it's been as well. Looking for offside, nothing given. Futcher is in there. Garner, Jim Dobbin. Well, he hammered it away and it nearly turned into a good ball in actual fact, but two defenders quick enough to see it off. Here's Short. Devlin got through an awful lot of work, this chap Devlin. Garner's forward, as is Rodger with him though. Well in by Groves. Devlin again, still going. Good play, gets the ball back. Forward again, looking for offside, nothing given.
No, he wasn't.
Whoa, and he's given the free kick, and this is real nasty. I don't think there was an offside in there myself. No. But I don't honestly think there was a free kick either.
No, I don't. In fact, if anything, the referee ought to give a free kick against himself for obstructing Paul Groves.
Yes, he ought to. But I mean, look at this. I mean, you'd fancy your chances if this was Town attacking in that condition, Rowley. You'd fancy Dave Gilbert or somebody from there.
Well, I always fancy my chances up here, John. It's down there that counts.
Yeah. Well, Wall, I think it's about right.
Off the ball, John, I think that, John.
Yeah, I think it must have been a barge off the ball or whatever, I don't know. But it's a right nasty position. Steve Sherwood seems to have it lined up. There it goes, and it's in. And it's a great goal. It's Mark Draper, and he couldn't have hit it any better.
I can't, but if it had been Gascoigne, they'd have been showing it on the telly, wouldn't they? But I'd like to know what the free kick was for.
So Town go 2-1 down. Mark Draper took the free kick and took it very, very well. But I mean, to some extent, it was almost like a penalty with these conditions. So 41 minutes gone. The Notts County fans are well happy. They are 2-1 in front as half-time approaches. Dave Gilbert, Clyde Mendonca on the chase. Gets a throw out of it. Well, if Town could get themselves back into this before half-time, as Rowley said earlier, now that really would be a bonus. Here's Mark Smith from the throw. Tries to get it into the middle and does do. Mendonca lays it back. Jim Dobbin just away from him. Gary Croft fluffed it. Still in there. Now Cherry will have to play it. It was his own defender, Croft. And out. My mouth's nearly frozen up and that takes some doing. Steve Sherwood. Good clearance. The goal scorer Draper, 42 minutes gone. Johnson. Croft. Jim Dobbin. Oh, Gary Childs waited for it. Here's Johnson coming forward, still going. Graham Roger, and again, he finally got the goal kick. But it's right filthy conditions out there now. I can hardly feel my hands up here. Oh. So Steve Sherwood having to kick it off the deck. Whoa. Now look at that. Back it comes, and the Futcher half away. Draper tried his chance. Well played by Dobbin, gets in. Gary Childs, he in turn tries to get it forward, can't do so. Mendonca looking to pick up the pieces, in actual fact will get a throw. Johnson with the header. Now Jim Dobbin, man jumping at him. Childs left it. Well, a bit messy as far as Town are concerned, and Town a little bit lucky there to get a free kick out of it. Yes, I think Smithy felt it. He's all right, he's up, but he felt that.
The worst for Grimsby Town is, by the time 10 minutes of half-time gone, this lot's going to clear.
Well, I hope not. I'd like Notts County to have a kick into it. So let's have a look. Jim Dobbin, Gary Croft with it. Jim Dobbin will be the man, no doubt. Well, the distance was good and the height was good. It's the direction. Agnew, good ball. Clyde Mendonca. There's the support from Dave Gilbert. Wanted to cross first time probably, but it's still not a bad one. Cherry is in there. Whoa! Well, the referee has not given a foul, and I think it was. I think Cherry had collected that when Graham Roger tried to push him in the back of the net.
Well, without being biased, John, I thought it was a foul on the goalie.
I did. I think we're lucky to get a corner out of that. I think it's Jim Dobbin with it. Oh, dear. Well, he's done well. Cherry's got there, and he's done even better. There's a good clearance. Agana. He's going to push it and run. Oh, he's seen the left-hand side, and Croft's got drawn. Smith showed a lot of it. He's come back, though. Blocked by Paul Agnew, who had come across. Gary Childs did well. And Croft knocks the ball out. County throw. And let's face it, Rowley, I think we're looking at Notts County didn't get a shot on target there.
Well, I think, you know, sorry, but you got to blame Gary Croft. He should have come forward.
And we reckon it's now time. And I think everybody will be glad when it is time. Only half away, that's a Town throw. And the referee says, I've had enough, and I don't blame him. Well, it's 1-2 at half-time, Rowley, and I'm afraid Notts County went in front earlier on through, I reckon, Paul Devlin. Town equalised almost straight away through Gary Croft. I think we'll turn it back to this lot. Through Paul Groves. And then Mark Draper clipped in that free kick, which we don't know what it was given for, but I mean, it was almost like giving him a penalty.
Yeah, well, let's get him off the. Well, let's get off the mic because I just ask the cameraman to you know, wind it back. Let's have a look at it, because I think the referee obstructed Paul Groves. Anything went on there, he should have been a bit more lenient. But nevertheless, it was a great free kick. We're losing 2-1. I hope this lot keeps up for the second half, because I'm off in a box. Oh. I mean, you know, one of the executive boxes.
I wouldn't mind it myself, but at half-time it's Town 1, Notts County 2. Well, welcome back to the second half. Whoa, Mendonca nearly in. I reckon we want an orange ball. But as Rowley quite prophetically said, you can bet your bottom dollar that when the second half resumes, conditions will change. I don't know about the wind dropped an awful lot, but certainly Martin's just come over the top after going for a quick shake of the unemployed. And I think, one, the wind has dropped, and secondly, of course, the snow has gone with it. But it is the same pitch. And believe it or not, albeit covered in a dusting of snow. So, Town 2-1 down. All to do. But I fancy us to do it. Clipped on by Smithy. This is Draper. Gary Croft comes across. It's really all he could do. I've got snow in my microphone. Agnew. Groves with the header forward. Jim Dobbin trying to get in there. Got a good header in. He was shoved. Now Dave Gilbert. On to Clyde Mendonca. Ball out and a Town throw. Dave Gilbert. Lovely touch forward. Notts County defence having nothing to do with it, and very quickly pushing that ball away. Agnew. No changes on either side that we can see. This time it's a Notts County throw. Overruled in actual fact by the referee. Linesman are giving it the other way. Mark Smith trying to turn with it, can't do so. In comes Gary Croft. Just got the header to it, knocked on by Smithy, Mendonca. There's the ball back, taken off the feet of Dobbin by Paul Groves, who took over. Croft, Gary Childs. Wants the ball back. There it comes, Gary Childs, good play, laid back, Paul Groves. Over the top. Good approach play. So, Notts County with a goal kick. And either this is Rowley Godfrey coming back, or we found Captain Oakes. Well in by Groves. Johnson. Now Futcher. Ball spinning. Whoops, Futch under pressure. Croft. Groves again. Now Gary Childs. Only half touched it. Good ball by Dobbin. Tried to get the ball back from Mendonca. That's not a bad pass. And Croft is there. And snow coming down again. And the wind with it. And once again, the Humber is obliterated. So, Dean Thomas. No, and unfortunately for all concerned, it isn't Captain Oates, it is Rowley Godfrey. Ball cleared Jim Dobbin, good one forward. Clyde Mendonca tried to turn with it. It's a good layoff. Gary Childs, Croft in support. Here's Gary Croft. Jim Dobbin is making a run through the middle. Croft, Paul Agnew. Aggie. Good ball forward. It wasn't a good one. Dobbin just got to it. Mendonca tried to knock it off there to Smith. But across comes Palmer and out goes the ball. And clash there, I think, between Jim Dobbin and somebody, was it? Or Groves? Groves and Dean Thomas having words with the referee. So on the far side there, Charlie Palmer getting attended to. I think the referee's given a throw. Yes. Mendonca, good touch inside. Dean Thomas tries to hack it clear, short, over his head. In comes Groves. Futcher did well. Too much on it probably. Cherry. Now we'll see what sort of distance Cherry can make from his kick. But as we say, the wind certainly dropped compared to what it was. Yes, and he's reaching the halfway line. Free kick given away on Groves. Futcher wanted to take it quickly. Graham Roger has gone forward, the ball heads towards him. He got the flick on as well, it's well done. Still in there, Groves! Just around the post. I think it got a deflection and a corner.